Hello everyone, I hope you're doing fine. This is Sebastian speaking, and today we'll particularly speak about the sniff feature on RFID, especially using NFC. Because I have a question also for you. Have you ever come in a situation when you had to be between a tag and a reader, and you could actually retrieve all the frames out of the device like that, like using the Proxmark? Probably not. I mean, sometimes it fails, sometimes it succeeds. I mean, it's not 100% sure to get all the frames, so you are always, trying to get as much captures as possible in order to get, all the communication right? So yeah, for this video, I wanted to show you another tool that you probably know, that is called the HydraNFC V2. Not particularly because there's, there's already a sniffing feature in it, but because also it got upgraded. And upgraded in a way that you can see what is going on. You can see what is going on in real time. You can debug also the frames. You can also debug the timeout, etc. You can analyze what is going on between an NFC reader and a tag, which is great. But before we get into that, let me introduce you a setup that everyone has in mind when doing RFID assessment. So the first tool that comes in mind is generally the Flipper Zero, because it is the hacker tool to have in social media. But not only, also this device has a very nice form factor and also includes a lot of attacks on LF and HF for RFID. So this is actually a tool to have in the pocket. But if we are talking about sniffing, sniffing is not supported with Flipper Zero. And for that, you will use, for example, the Proxmark to get, for example, all the frames as possible. But the Proxmark3 does not, it's too slow for that, too slow to get all the frames. So you can maybe come with some errors when doing so. So if we want to extend that, there's another tool that also I have in mind. This is the HydraNFC that is actually plugged, as you can see here, to a Hydra bus. The Hydra bus that is maybe the best tool to interface with many protocols, but not only. And the HydraNFC, you will see that the HydraNFC will be able to retrieve everything in real time like. So let's maybe just show, for example, how we can, for example, sniff things with the Proxmark, the problems that we can encounter, and then I can show you the HydraNFC working. So you can also have an idea about that. All right? Okay, let's go. So for the demo, I will use a Proxmark3 and V4, but could be any version as soon as your sniffing feature is working, a blank card with some default keys in it, and a phone that will act as a reader. So like that will actually sniff what is exchanged between my phone and the card with the Proxmark. All right. The first thing I will do is to use AeroSwift, because AeroSwift is probably the most convenient way to get all your tools inside your computer. Could be a computer, could be like also Raspberry Pi 5, or could be also, a nice gaming machine like that. So yeah, this is actually why I will use AeroSwift. And I will just make sure that I have the latest image. So I will pull the image RFID here, like that, up. All right, so now it's finished and we'll actually run it. So we use AeroSwift, run, up, the name of the image, RFID here. And I will actually use a container name like Super RFID 1. Like we can see here that the binding is a little bit missing for the Proxmark, because we are using a Proxmark here. So we need also to have the binding right, because we'll not see the Proxmark in there. The DevTTY SCM0 and SCM1, for example, is not binding here with the container. inside the container. So I will actually use, I could actually use the run command using, for example, the bind argument here. But because we have already created a container, I just don't want to create another container. I will use the binding feature that is killer RFID feature in there. So I can add a new binding, add like that up. I will precise the container name here, super RFID 1, like that. I will use also up the path of the ACM 0 up. I will use exactly the same for the target here. And normally it should do the job. I will also maybe bind the ACM01 in case I'm using, for example, another device that also has a TTY ACM. All right, we do the same for ACM1, like that. So as we are using a MIFARE Classic tag, we'll actually go to HF, but also 14A. And there's a sniff feature here. We can put now our Proxmark to sniff, and we'll sniff what is going on. I will now go here with the camera. I will sniff what is going on here, like that. So we can see also the results. And let's go back here. I'm pushing the button now on the Proxmark, and I can use HF 14A list. So yeah, you can actually retry what was going on. So this is a very nice feature because you can see like pretty much a lot of things in there. Particularly, I'm a bit skeptical with this one. We see a select UID auth A. Normally, we should only read something, but it is written that here we are trying to write block 50, which is kind of strange, but we can maybe just like use the nonce in there in order to see if we have been able to retrieve something. We see also auth A here, auth B, but yeah, it's just partial sniff. Here we see select UID auth A, something that does not look as something very good in here. We have an issue already when looking at those nonce. So yeah, I'm very skeptical with this one. I'm a little bit skeptical with this one, but let's try it. Let's try with this one. We never know. So I can go with the text editor like that, up. I'm just pushing the frames there. So like that, I will be able to use the tools that are provided inside the Proxmark repository. Like that, I will use the same with the HydraNFC. So let's do tools NFC card reader. Is like a nice tool called MF key here. I can just use that like that. And then I have to provide the UID. So let's go back to UID. UID was up. I forgot to actually take the UID here. Up. Up. Just like also take another look in case, yeah, be exactly that. I can there. Okay. Then I will use, so I have the auth A. Wait a second. I already see an issue there. Yeah, sorry, there's like an issue here. Yeah, there's like an issue also there. So yeah, the capture I have is actually garbage. I will make another just to show you. But yeah, as I said, you can fail like a lot using this technique, but it's good that it exists. But if you want to debug things, for example, let's say that you want also to create some tools, you want also to inspect like some timeouts, etc. It would be very difficult with the Proxmark to do so. And I will show you that with the HydraNFC it's gonna be better. So let's do exactly the same work like that. Up like that. I will try it another time like that. Normally it should work after some time. but it's true that it takes a while to get a nice capture sometimes. If you are not, using the good range. So yeah, there's like still an issue here. I mean, the nonces are not right here. Here it looks like, yeah, looks like maybe this one should go. Yeah, before it was crap. I was just checking another time, but before it was crap. Here, it looks like something probably, but yeah, I'm still not sure. Yeah, let's do maybe this one. I will use this one. Up. So I will write it down like that. Okay. Up like that, and I can use the tool in tools. That's MFC card reader. Now I can use MF key. That's up. Sorry, we need to also write down the UID again. Wait a second, I will take it like that. Okay, let's now take the non-stag, non-reader, and so on. So after the auth A, I have this one like that. We should actually expect like a default key. Up. 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 And on. And finally, UID, NT, NR, AR, and AT. Voila. So here we have a key. But yeah, if previously you used the nonce from the previous capture, it would have been crapped at some point. So yeah, so I'm lucky that it took me just like 2 sniff, but sometimes it takes more. So that depends also on how you do that. So for this demo, I was kind of lucky because in just like a second time, I was able to retrieve, the good frames for that. A complex conversation. But in some cases, it can fail like a lot. So everything depends on the range you are sniffing. And also the conditions. So yeah, that's why sometimes you need a real-time sniffer for that. And I will show you why it is actually good to have a real-time sniffer. So let me introduce you now the HydraNFC here. So here we have a HydraNFC with the same setup as the Proxmark, where we will sniff what is going on between the tag and the reader. So like that. So let's see. I will also need a logic analyzer like this one, for example, but it could be any that is supported by Pulseview or DSView. And also I have to plug the ground on the Proxmark, on the HydraNFC, and the CSO in here like that. Then I will plug the DS logic device and I will sniff what is going on. But first, I need also to put the HydraNFC in sniff mode. So I'm going back to my previous container and I will contact the dev TTY of the HydraBus here, ACM1, like that. And I will have to put it on debug NFC, sniff, and then I have to also use now another container, which would be the hardware container with AeroSwift. So AeroSwift, I have to download it, image, pull up hardware, like that. So when you have been able to download the hardware image here, you can call it superhard as a container name when you want to instantiate it. So we just call it like that. And then we'll call DSView in order to get the data coming from the pin 3 on the DS logic, like that. So DS logic here, I will use a 25 megahertz. I will use also like 2 minutes here, 25 megahertz sample rate. I could actually use the 10 megahertz, but yeah, I will just oversample a bit. And then exactly like before. You see the HydraNFC here, you see the tag. I will use my phone like that to read what is going on. So wait a second. I can just like press here, start, up, up, and then I can stop. I can decode with the HydraNFC decoder, which is already provided in AeroSwift, also in the hardware image. Isn't it great? I will use a timeout of 1000 here and look at it. I mean, when you just zoom somewhere in the view, wait a second. I can maybe just like directly use, for example, the trace like that, that have been decoded. I can, for example, focus on the bits that have been decoded here. You see that the packet corresponds to a select serial one. So we are selecting the F2 DD B6 4C card here. The BBC and the CRC looks okay. So what is cool also with this nice real-time feature is that you can also inspect if something bad happened or not. Yeah, the view is a little bit creepy here. I mean, the display is a little bit creepy with DS view. So we should actually use, for example, the capture against Pulseview, which will be better. So that's why also I'm just saving the file. I can also inspect that properly by recording a CSV like that. So yeah, if you have recorded it directly with Pulseview, it will be better. With DS view, because I'm using the DS Logic U3 Pro, yeah, I don't have the choice but to use this view first. But yeah, we'll see that we can correct that a bit after. But yeah, if you want to work with the CSV, you can also work with the CSV. So we can just like decode like that. We can go to the moment on which it's trying to authenticate with the key A like that. Wait a second, where is it? We have a M out here. Okay. Okay, I see it. I see it in there. I probably use this one, which will look better like that. So I can just MF64 key like that. I can use, okay, this NT. Like that. And then up, find one, and we found the key. That's nice, right? But yeah, if we want a nicer view, as I said, we can always use the capture here against Pulseview, but we need to also convert it. So there's like a nice tool called DSL SIGROG to SIGROG, which will take that and record it as an SR. Sorry for that. Wait a second. Seems like there's like a little bug here. Not found. DSL. Let's go to hardware. DSL SIGROG. I don't know why I have like a little bug on this one, but yeah, doesn't matter. We can still use that way too. Yes, logic. I will also use that same name. Yeah, we'll try to fix this little issue on the aliasing here. And not alias, but symbol link. I can go now to root, and I can use Pulseview directly. Pulseview, like that. So I can just open this trace. And welcome to Pulseview, where I mean it is a little bit lighter, but you can always change the theme to dark. But yeah, whatever. I mean, what I want to show you is that the capture that we have made previously is actually readable in Pulseview after decoding it, after converting it. So we see on the third line that we still have our data, exactly like with this view. And so now we will be able to decode it. So exactly the same way as DSView, because DSView is based on Pulseview. Unfortunately, you will see that DSView has I mean, not a very good tabular decoder output. I hope they will probably fix it. It's a shame that DS Logic U3 Pro 16 is not yet available in Pulseview, but maybe later. I mean, this is in progress. Still, I mean, also the SIGROC team has a lot of device to also push here, so they have like a lot of work. But yeah, if you want to contribute on Pulseview, you're welcome because it is a very nice project. So let's now go to HydraNFC. We can see that HydraNFC shows that there's no channel in here, so we have to precise the channel here, and also we'll use a timeout of 1,000 microseconds here, so then you can see the decoded data. And for example, we have, particularly in this case, if we want to see what is going on, we don't have it yet on the right. We have to go to the tabular decoder view, on which you can find some nice lines, I mean, some nice rows with reader bits and so on to make things a little bit more clear. What I will do is that first, I can maybe show you, I mean, what we have also seen in the past with DSView. I mean, in the past, and I was showing you DSView working. I will probably just like clear those bits because it's kind of weird. I will not weird, but I mean kind of difficult also to read. So I will just like skip those bits here, so it's a little bit clearer right now, and so we can see that we have like some tag answer for CL1, just showing you, for example, here if we look at the tag answer, wait a second, I will probably just like raise a bit. That's okay. So here we have select. Okay, this is much more clearer. Select this UID. The BCC CRC looks good. What is good is that, for example, we have a color per side. So for the reader and also for the tag, we have different colors, right? So that is also good. Like that, we can distinguish a little bit more things in here. And yeah, if I want to make things a little bit more clear, because for the moment, I can just show you, for example, let's say that I want to show you some nice stuff in there. I mean, things that we have retrieved. Also, we can figure out that at the beginning there was like some errors to decode, but then it was clearer because, you know, at some point also I'm using also a phone. So the phone is also probably glitching a bit things, but then, I mean, everything gets smoother, as we can see here. I mean, even after that, but we have, if I remember correctly, there was like some nice encrypted data here. So particularly here, there's like some nice stuff. And we can just like always figure out, for example, let's say that we have an issue with, you know, our tool and so on. We can always like take a look on the timing and see what it was going on. For example, if the conversation was right in there, which is clearly good because in here we have the logical view, and here we have the decoded view, which is actually very, very easy to read compared to Proxmark. And with the Proxmark, we still miss some data. I mean, some packets, but with the HydraNFC and also the logical analyzer here, we are able to retrieve everything at some sort at real time. So let's just also clear a bit things here. I would just like maybe hide that, like that it will be clearer for me. And now reader commands we've encrypted like that, tag answer encrypted like that. Okay, perfect. So it's a little bit more clear here. So if we want, let's say, we want to have a look like that, or we want to put that decoder somewhere else, like here, up like here, we can inspect what is going on like that precisely. I'll probably just like delete also, disable that, like that, because we don't need it. Here, we just need that view. I mean, that's perfect, right? So here we see that there was like a notification beginning. I mean, in here, we could also skip the debugging here. But we have the answer, reader, and so on. So we can also follow all the track. We can see all the nonces that are exchanged, which is kind of good. And this is actually available for MIFARE Ultralight as well. And in the future, maybe all the technology as well. You have NTAG also that is supported too. So yeah, I mean, this is probably one of the nicest things I can show you. I mean, I also see with HydraNFC is that you can debug a lot of stuff that you couldn't before. And then you can also do some attack on it. Like, for example, you have a capture between a tag and a reader. You can actually also attack the crypto on that. So the Hydra Boost with the HydraNFC A.0 is a real step forward for measurement. So let's say that you want to implement something even on the Proxmark, you can actually debug that with a right display. That's I actually really appreciate it. And also, for example, if you want to study, let's say, some MIFARE Disfire communications, you can actually see what is going on. For the moment, the plugin does not work, if I recall correctly, does not work with the MIFARE Disfire, but you can even implement it because it is open source. So this is right. So this is the end of this video. I hope you like it. And if you like it, just like thumb up and also comment. I mean, constructive comment and not junk, right? And also, if you want to meet me, I will be at InCyber in France at Lille next week. And also, I will be in Cyber On Board as well, close to Toulon, also still in France. In the US, you can also meet me maybe at Hardware.io if you want to go there. I mean, I will appreciate also if you go to my trainings as well, because we can teach like a lot of things and we can discuss about a lot of things about hacking with radio and particularly with software-defined radio. So yeah, it would be a pleasure to also teach you guys. So yeah, thank you very much. See you later. Bye-bye.